Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a really powerful technique for handling those moments of just, overwhelming stress, especially when the usual advice to just calm down feels completely impossible.
So, let's start with a scene I'm pretty sure we've all been in. You are completely overwhelmed, your mind is racing, and everyone's telling you, just breathe, do some yoga, meditate. But here's the problem. You're way too worked up to even think about sitting still. And this gets us right to the heart of the problem, what we can call the stress paradox. The very tools that are designed to bring you peace, well, they need a little bit of peace just to get them started. And when your mind is just in total turmoil, trying to force it to be tranquil isn't just difficult, it can actually backfire.
Yeah, seriously, fighting for stillness when your mind feels like a storm can make you feel even more anxious. So what do you do in that critical moment? What's the immediate psychological first aid you can use to pull yourself back from the edge?
Okay, let's dive into the core idea from today's source. The number one rule, the most important thing you can do, is to break that cycle of spiraling thoughts. And the best way to do that is with one simple action: connection.
And this quote just nails the whole principle, doesn't it? Stress absolutely thrives in isolation. When we're trapped inside our own heads, the thoughts just get louder and louder. So the antidote is to actively break out of that mental prison and reach out to something or someone else.
So how do we actually do this? How do we make it practical? Let's open up the toolkit. Here's a super simple 3-step action plan. Think of it as a hierarchy of support that you can get to anytime, day or night, to find that connection you need.
So here it is, your 3-tiered plan. It starts with the absolute gold standard, a real conversation with someone you trust. But let's be real, that's not always possible, right? So we've got 2 incredibly powerful backups that are pretty much always available.
Now, this slide is really interesting because it makes a crucial distinction. If you grab your phone, its job is not to help you research your stress. Googling how to stop worrying just makes you focus more on, well, worrying. The goal here is a total mental pivot to something positive and engaging.
You really need to find stuff that is the complete opposite of how you feel. Something that doesn't just distract you, but actively grabs your attention and lifts you up. We're talking stand-up comedy that makes you belly laugh, a motivational talk that gets you fired up, or just a movie you can totally get lost in.
But what about when it's 2 o'clock in the morning? Your mind is going a million miles an hour, and you can't exactly call a friend. This is where a surprisingly powerful and modern solution comes into the picture.
Your phone has another tool, AI companions. Things like Gemini, Copilot, and GPT-3 are there instantly, 24/7, and they're free. You can literally just start a conversation, talk about whatever is on your mind, and immediately break that awful feeling of being alone with your thoughts.
Okay, so let's dig into why this is so important. Because taking this kind of immediate action isn't just some nice little coping mechanism. According to the source, it is absolutely critical for your long-term physical health.
I mean, look at this number. It's staggering. Scientific findings suggest that the vast majority of physical illnesses, we're talking 70 to 80%, have stress as a primary root cause. This isn't just about feeling mentally overwhelmed. It's about a direct physical attack on your body. So here's the bottom line. You have to treat acute stress like an emergency. Letting your mind spin in that toxic state literally digs a mental and physical hole that just gets deeper and harder to climb out of, and it can eventually trigger an actual illness.
So, the key takeaway from all this is that you are not powerless. When you feel that wave of overwhelming stress coming on, you now have a simple, powerful, and immediate plan. Connect, distract with something positive, and break that cycle of isolation before it takes hold. To explore these ideas even more, the source for today's explainer, Osman, covers all kinds of topics on health from both modern and ancient points of view. You can check out his website, and he's even got a free 5-minute yoga and meditation program you can download. So the next time you feel that stress rising, just remember you've got a plan. The only question is, what's your first step to connect going to be?